Okay, today let us perform the next experiment, that is experiment number 7. Now the aim of today's experiment, that is to perform is assay of ibuprofen. Okay, so today we will perform, okay, that is to perform the assay of ibuprofen. Okay, so we will perform the assay of ibuprofen. In that we will find out the percentage purity of ibuprofen, means how much amount of this ibuprofen it is present, okay, in percent, okay, or in pure form into the given sample. Okay, so we will find out the percentage purity of ibuprofen. Okay, so let us see about this experiment. Okay, so first of all let us see about this principle of the experiment. Let us see the particular principle of this experiment. Now, here ibuprofen, it is the aryl acetic acid. You can see here, this is the aromatic ring, and it is attachments of this aryl acetic acid group. Okay, carbon 2 oxygen and hydrogen. This is carboxylic group. So this ibuprofen, it is the aryl aromatic, or we can say it is the aryl acetic acid. Okay, and it is the weak acid, and it is the weak acid. So it gives so that the particular titration, it will be acid base titration. Okay, so the ibuprofen it is titrated with by acid base titration. In that we are using strong base, that is the NaOH. Okay, and titrated with aryl acetic acid, that is the ibuprofen. It is the weak acid. So after the reactions with this ibuprofen with strong base by the acid base reaction, okay, also we get the end point. Okay, at the end point there is the formation of the salt. Okay, so this is the salt of ibuprofen. Okay, this is the salt of the ibuprofen. In that there is the presence of this Na positive attached to this particular C-O-O negatively charged. Okay, so there is a formation of salt. Okay, so into the particular principle, so ibuprofen, as we know, it is the aryl acetic acid. It is derivative of NaCH. It is the derivative of NaCH. Okay, NaCH. Okay. Now NaCH are the non-steroidal anti-inflammatory agents. Okay, NaCH means these are the non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs. Okay. NSAIDs are the non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, and these are widely used to reduce the pain. Okay, it is used as analgesic. Also, these are also used for the reduction into the inflammation. Okay, okay. Also, it is used as an anti-inflammatory. That's why. Also, it is used as particular anticoagulants, which inhibits the coagulations of the bloods. Okay, or platelet for aggregations. So it is used as an anti-inflammatory, analgesic, or anticoagulant. In some cases, it is used as an antipyretic. Okay, which reduce the elevated body temperature in fever. Okay, so NSAIDs, it is ibuprofen. It is the aryl acetic acid derivative of the NSAIDs types of drugs. Okay, now it is weakly acidic in nature. Okay, so that's why it is estimated by the alkalimetry. So that's why it is estimated by the alkalimetry. That's why it is estimated by the alkalimetry. Okay, now alkalimetry means the particular titration method. In that we are using the acid base reaction. In alkalimetry there is acid base reaction takes place. Okay, in acid base reaction, that is, we know about acid base reaction. Acid will react with base and it will form the salt, and this salt will be the complex of the acid and base, as well as the particular phenolphthalein indicator that will give the faint pink color as endpoint. Okay, as we know about that. Okay, so alkalimetry, it is in that the specialized analytic. Okay, the specialized analytic are used. Okay, of acids. So there is a specified or specialized analytic are used. Okay, of acids. Okay, for example, here ibuprofen it is used. Okay, that is use of acid base titration. Okay, so ibuprofen and base. So these are the specialized analytical are used, that is the strong base or standard sodium hydroxide solution. It is used into this acid base titration. Okay, so to determine the concentrations of the acidic substance. Okay, so this acid base titration and use of this analytic, that is the sodium standard sodium hydroxide, it is used to particular determine the concentrations of the particular acid, to determine the concentrations of the acidic substance. So here ibuprofen, it is the acidic substance. So by using the standard NaOH solution, we will find out or we will determine the particular concentrations of this ibuprofen in the form of percentage purity. Okay, and we are using the standard base, that is the sodium hydroxide solution. Okay, so this is about the principle of this ACO of ibuprofen. Now into the reaction, when ibuprofen is reacted with NaOH in the presence of phenolphthalein as an indicator, we get the salt, or we get the complex of this acid base substance, we get the salt. Okay, so first of all, you can see this is carbon oxygen double bond, and here OH group is present. So whole structure, this group, it is the carboxylic group or acidic group. Okay, now on the other hand, we have here NaOH, sodium hydroxide. In that, sodium positively charged, OH negative ions, it is negatively charged. Okay, so OH negative ions will be abstract as base. Okay, it will be act as base. So it will attract this proton towards itself. Okay, because this is the weak acid or acetic acid, and this is the acidic group. So by its nature, it will donate this proton towards this strong base, that is OH negative ions. Okay, so in this way, there is a removal of water molecules. Okay, so after the removal of water molecules, this OH group takes lone pair of electron towards itself. This sodium will electron deficient, acquires positive charge. This hydrogen give lone pair of electron on this oxygen, so this oxygen will be negatively charged, acquires lone pair of electrons. Okay, so negative carbon, okay, it will be acts as base, and then it will be attract this sodium positive towards itself. Okay, so this sodium will attach to this oxygen. Okay, so in this way we get the salt. Okay, so we get the salt, that is COO negatively charged, and sodium attached to this oxygen positively charged. So we get the salt. Okay, now this salt, after the end point formation of this salt, it is the equivalent point. On that, there is a formation of this particular salt. There is a visualization of the color of the end point, that is the pink color. Okay, in the presence of phenolphthalein indicator. So that will be the end point after the formation of the salt. Means all the ibuprofen acetic acid will react with the NaOH, and the particular solution it will be neutralized. Okay, and that will be the end point. Now this is about the principle of the ACO of ibuprofen. Now after that principle, let us see the next step, that is, or next part, that is the procedure of ACO of ibuprofen. So let us see the procedure. Now let us see the procedure. Okay. Now procedure for ACO of ibuprofen, it is divided into two main parts. First part, it is the standardization of 0.1 normal NaOH solution. After that, next part, that is the ACO of ibuprofen. Okay. So first of all, we will discuss about the standardization of 0.1 normal NaOH solution. Okay. So into the procedure of standardization of 0.1 normal NaOH solution, first of all, we have to standardize sodium hydroxide solution by using 10 ml of 0.1 normal oxalic acid, okay, and phenolphthalein indicator. Then you have to titrate with this sodium hydroxide solution until you get the faint pink color. Okay, so this is the standardization of the NaOH solution. Okay, so for standardization of NaOH solution, we require 0.1 normal NaOH solution. Also, we require 0.1 normal oxalic acid. Okay, so first of all, let us see the how the 0.1 normal NaOH solution is prepared. Okay, so first of all, you have to take 40 gram of this NaOH solids or flakes, dissolve in 1000 ml of 1000 ml of distilled water. Okay, so that will be 1 normal. Okay, So first of all, you have to take 40 gram of NaOH and you have to dissolve in 1000 ml of distilled water. So that will be 1 normal. Okay. Okay. So for 1000 ml, 40 gram of sodium hydroxide you have to dissolve. So you get 1 normal. Okay. Then if you want for 0.1 normal, okay, so you have to dissolve 4 gram of sodium hydroxide dissolved in 1000 ml of distilled water. So you get 0.1 normal of NaOH solution. Suppose you want for that is for 100 ml. Okay. Then you have to take 0.4 gram of sodium hydroxide and dissolve in 100 ml of water. So that will be 0.1 normal NaOH solution for 100 ml. Okay. So we will do the preparation of sodium hydroxide for 100 ml. Okay. So we will the strength will be 0.1 normal for 100 ml. Okay. So this is for 0.1 normal NaOH solution for 100 ml capacity. After that, second is 0.1 normal oxalic acid. Okay, how to prepare? So first of all, you have to take 63 gram of oxalic acid solids and dissolve in 1000 ml of distilled water. So you get 1 normal oxalic acid. Okay. So if you want 0.1 normal, so you have to take 6.3 gram of oxalic acid and dissolve in 1000 ml of distilled water. So that will be 0.1 normal oxalic acid. Okay. So suppose you want for 100 ml, so you have to take 0.63 gram of oxalic acid dissolved in 100 ml of distilled water. So that will be 0.1 normal oxalic acid. Okay. So we will go for the 0.1 normal oxalic acid for 100 ml of the solution. Okay. So this is about 0.1 normal oxalic acid, and this is about the preparations of the reagents. Okay. Now into the procedure. First of all, you have to take, okay, this is the conical flask. Okay, this is conical flask. First of all, you have to take 10 ml. You have to take 10 ml of 0.1 normal oxalic acid. Okay. You have to take 0.1 normal oxalic acid, that is the 10 ml. Okay, into the conical flask. Take 10 ml of 0.1 normal oxalic acid in conical flask. Okay. So after that, you have to add 2 to 3 drops. Okay, drops of phenolphthalein. Phenolphthalein indicator. Okay. So after that, you have to add 2 to 3 drops of the phenolphthalein indicator. Okay. After the additions of oxalic acid. Okay. So after that, you have to titrate with NaOH. Okay. You have to then titrate with NaOH, that is 0.1 normal NaOH, until you get the pink color. Okay. Until you get the pink color. Okay. So you have to titrate with NaOH solution, this particular conical flask solution, using phenolphthalein as an indicator until you get the faint pink color. Okay. And this particular NaOH solution 0.1 normal, you have to add into the burette, and from burette you have to take drop by drop into this conical flask. During addition, you have to shake this flask continuously, so that at the end point you get the faint pink color. Okay. So after getting faint pink color, you have to note down the reading on the burette. Okay, in ml, and you have to then draw the observation table, that is the initial serial number, initial reading, final reading, and final it is mean. So you have to draw such type of table. Okay. So first that is serial number 1, 2, 3. Second column will be burette reading, that is the initial burette reading, that is 0 ml, and the final column in that the final burette reading is that your 3 readings. Okay. You have to take 3 times titrations of this particular 0.1 normal NaOH solution by using same procedure, and you have to take 3 readings and you have to write down into the observation table. Okay. After that, you have to make the or you have to take the average or mean of these three readings. Okay, and this mean you have to use into the formula for the calculations of the normality of NaOH solution. Okay, so this is first part, that is the standardization of NaOH solution procedure. Now after that let us see the second part of the procedure, that is the assay of ibuprofen. So let us see the assay of ibuprofen, the procedure. Okay, now let us see the second part of the procedure, that is assay of ibuprofen. Okay, in procedure, first of all you have to take conical flask, clean dry conical flask. Then you have to add 0.5 gram of powder ibuprofen. You have to take accurately and you have to weigh accurately 0.5 gram of powder ibuprofen, and then you have to add into the conical flask. Okay, suppose if you have don't have the into the bulk form of the ibuprofen, okay, or into the large quantity of the ibuprofen, okay, or the sample of the ibuprofen, so you can take the equivalent, so you can take the ibuprofen from the tablets. We have the marketed preparation in that particular tablets are present, okay, of ibuprofen. So you can take the ibuprofen tablets, and after the taking ibuprofen tablets, then you have to calculate the equivalent weight, okay, for 0.5 gram of ibuprofen. Then you have to powder these tablets or crush these tablets, and you have to take that equivalent weight, okay, and you have to weigh accurately the equivalent weight. Then you have to put up into the, or you have to add into this conical flask. Okay, so 0.5 gram of powder ibuprofen weigh accurately, and you have to add into this conical flask. Okay, so after the additions of 0.5 gram of powder ibuprofen, then you have to take 100 ml of ethanol or ethyl alcohol, and you have to add into this powder ibuprofen into the conical flask. Then you have to mix it, dissolve by using the stirrer, or you have to mix this particular the solids of the ibuprofen. Okay, so after the dissolutions of these solids of ibuprofen, then you have to add indicator, that is you have to add the indicator, that is phenolphthalein indicator, that is add 2 to 3 drops of the phenolphthalein indicator to the solution, then shake properly. After that, into the burette, take 0.1 normal NaOH solution into the burette, okay, and then titrate this particular conical flask solution, ibuprofen solution or ethanolic solutions of ibuprofen with 0.1 normal NaOH solution, okay, from the burette. To open the knob slowly, and by drop you have to add 0.1 normal NaOH solution into the conical flask ibuprofen solution, and you have to shake it, okay, continuously until you get faint pink color, okay, and faint pink color will be your end point. Okay, now after taking the first reading, after getting the faint pink color at first time, that will be first reading, and you have to put up this reading into the observation. Okay, now into the observation table you have to first of all draw that is serial number, then initial reading, and then the final reading of the burette, and also the mean. Okay, so you have to draw first step of table, and into the serial number 1, 2, 3 you have to write down initial reading will be 0 ml, and final reading will be your 3 readings of this assay. Okay, and then you have to calculate the mean of these 3 readings. Okay, and this mean you have to put up into the formula for the calculations of the percentage purity of ibuprofen. Okay, now this is about the procedure for assay of ibuprofen as well as the standardizations of the sodium hydroxide solution. Now after this procedure, let us do the next part, that is the actual practicals. Okay, now after the actual practicals we will go for then calculation. Okay, so let us do the actual practicals of assay to perform the assay of ibuprofen. Okay, as per the procedure, let us do the next experiment. That is the next experiment, that is to perform the assay of ibuprofen. Okay, to perform the assay of ibuprofen. The next experiment, that is to perform the assay of ibuprofen. Okay, so for the assay of ibuprofen, first of all we have to go for procedure. Okay, into procedure, as per the procedures, First of all, we have to standardize this sodium hydroxide solution, that is standardization of 0.1 normal sodium hydroxide solution. Okay, then next step it is, or the second part, it is the assay of ibuprofen. Okay, so this experiment, it is divided into two parts. One, we have to find out the normality of the sodium hydroxide, that is 0.1 normal sodium hydroxide solution, and after that normality we will go for the assay of ibuprofen, this sample. Okay, so first of all we will go for the standardization of 0.1 normal NaOH solution. Okay, so for this experiment we required some chemicals and apparatus. Okay, first of all we required 0.1 we have to prepare 0.1 normal NaOH solution. Okay, also we have to prepare 0.1 normal oxalic acid. Okay, so these two reagents I have prepared already. Okay, that is, first of all, 0.1 normal NaOH I have prepared for 100 ml. In that I have taken 0.4 gram of this NaOH and dissolve in 100 ml of distilled water. Okay, or maintain the volume up to 100 ml up to the mark of this volumetric flask. Okay, so I have prepared already 0.1 normal NaOH. Okay, after that I have also prepared another reagent, that is 0.1 normal oxalic acid. In that I have taken 0.63 gram of accurately weighed oxalic acid crystals, and I have dissolved in sufficient distilled water. Then I have maintained the volume up to 100 ml in volumetric flask, so it gives 0.1 normal oxalic acid solution. Okay, up to the mark. Okay, in 100 ml volumetric flask. Now after the making of these two important reagents, okay, also we have another chemicals, that is we require, that is the sodium carbonate. Okay, also we require here phenolphthalein as an indicator. Okay, also we have taken, that is the oxalic acid and sodium hydroxide. Okay, so simple experiment it is, and we required very few chemicals for the standardization of NaOH solutions. Okay, now after that we required some apparatus, that is we require stirrer. After that we require conical flask, measuring cylinder. Okay, burette stand, burette, etc. All these chemicals we require for the standardizations of sodium hydroxide as well as assay of ibuprofen. Okay, so let us do the next step of this practical. Okay, so the next step, it is standardizations of sodium hydroxide. Okay, for the standardization of sodium hydroxide into the procedure, as we discussed, that is, first of all we have to take the conical flask. Now in conical flask we have to take 10 ml of 0.1 normal oxalic acid. Okay, and then we have to add some a few drops of phenolphthalein indicator. Okay, so adding of this phenolphthalein indicator, you have to shake this solution, then you have to titrate with the particular 0.1 normal standard sodium hydroxide solution. Now this sodium hydroxide solution we will keep in the burette. Okay, or we will add into the burette. So from burette, drop by drop we have to take this solution of sodium hydroxide and titrate with oxalic acid which is present into the conical flask. Okay, so let us do this step and let us do this practical. Okay. Okay, now first of all transfer this, you have to transfer, first of all you have to transfer this 10 ml of 0.5 10 ml of, this is 10 ml of 0.1 normal oxalic acid into conical flask. Okay, so I have taken here 10 ml of 0.1 normal oxalic acid, so I have transferred into this conical flask. Okay, so after that you have to take few drops of phenolphthalein indicators. Okay, so here phenolphthalein indicator we have, so I will take few drops of, or 2 to 3 drops of phenolphthalein indicator. Okay, now I have added 10 ml of 0.1 normal NaOH, 0.1 normal oxalic acid into this beaker, into this conical flask. Okay, also I have added 2 to 3 drops of phenolphthalein indicator. Okay, now after the additions of phenolphthalein indicator in this oxalic acid solution, now the next step it is the titration. Okay, so let us titrate this solution with 0.1 normal NaOH. Okay, so into the burette I have filled 0.1 normal NaOH up to the mark. Okay, up to the mark you can see I have fill out or fill up this burette by using 0.1 normal NaOH solution. Okay, now after that let us do the titrations of this particular oxalic acid against 0.1 normal NaOH solution. Okay, so let us do this standardizations of NaOH solution. Okay, now let us do the standardizations of 0.1 normal NaOH solution with oxalic acid. Okay, so you can see here the standardization of NaOH we are doing. Okay, now we are titrating this oxalic acid with NaOH solution. Okay, now from burette you have to take drop by drop solution of NaOH into oxalic acid solution into the flask. Okay, so that until you get the pink color end point. Okay, the end point will be pink color. Okay, so oxalic acid it is acid and NaOH it is the base, so there is acid base reaction takes place. Okay, at the end point we get the phenolphthalein, we get the by the additions of phenolphthalein indicator we get the end point, that is the pink color. Okay, until that you have to titrate with 0.1 normal NaOH solution. Okay, so let us do this practical now. Now let us do the practical of standardization of NaOH. Drop by drop you have to add and you have to shake this until you get the faint pink color. Okay, slowly drop by drop you have to add this NaOH solution until you get the pink color. Now we are very close to our end point, so pink color it is appearing, or we can see pink color. Okay, like this you have to shake it properly. Okay, and drop by drop you have to add NaOH solution into this oxalic acid solution until you get the faint pink color. Okay, now in this way we get the faint pink color, you can see. Okay, so this is the end point. Okay, so you can see this is the faint pink color. Okay, so this is the end point. Okay, and we get the faint pink color end point. Okay, now this is our reading. Now the burette reading, it is, you can see it is about 9.5 ml. Okay, or we can see it is 9.6 ml. Okay, it is 9.6 ml the first reading. Okay, so this is the end point of the standardization. Now also you have to take another 2 readings. Okay, so total 3 readings you have to take. Okay, so 3 readings. After that you have to draw the table. In that you have to put up the data, that is first reading in ml, second reading, third reading. Okay, so after that these 3 readings you have to take the mean or average of 3 readings, and this particular average you have to put up into the formula for the calculations of the normality of NaOH. Okay, so let us do the next 2 readings, or next for 2 readings, titration for the 2 readings. Let us do. Okay, I have taken 3 readings of standardization of NaOH solution. Okay, so I have taken 3 readings of the titrations of standardizations of NaOH solution. Okay, so first reading was found to be 9.6 ml, that is we have here first of all observation table, initial reading in ml, 00 ml, then final burette reading, okay, of in ml, it is also in ml, that is our actual reading, and after that the next it is mean. Okay, so first reading it is 9.6 ml. Another second reading I have taken, that is 9.8 ml, and the third reading was found to be that is 10.2 ml. Okay. Also I have calculate the mean of these three readings. It is found to be 9.86 ml. Okay. So the standardization of NaOH solution, all three reading mean it is found to be 9.86 ml. Okay. Now this mean I will put into the formula for the calculations of normality of NaOH. Okay. So after that we will do the calculation later for the find out the normality by the calculations of NaOH solution. Then we will go for the calculations of the assay of ibuprofen. Okay. Now we have completed the standardization of NaOH solution by using oxalic acid and phenolphthalein indicator. Now the next step, it is second number part, that is the assay of ibuprofen. Okay. So let us do the next part of the procedure, that is the assay of ibuprofen. So let us do this practical. Now let us do the next step, that is the assay of ibuprofen. Okay. Now let us do the next step, that is the assay of ibuprofen. So for the assay of ibuprofen we require 500 mg or 0.5 gram of ibuprofen. Okay. But we have ibuprofen tablets, we don't have the sample of the ibuprofen. Okay, as such, so we will take from the tablet. Okay. But our tablet contains that is 400 mg gram of this ibuprofen. Okay. So that 100 mg is required. So for taking the particular equivalent weight, so we have the calculations. If we have the 400 mg of ibuprofen tablet, so we have the equivalent weight, so that which gives the calculations, or which can give the idea about the weight. Now that is the 500 mg of weight of actual weight of ibuprofen. So let us do the calculations of the particular ibuprofen. Okay, for the equivalent weight. Now for the equivalent weight of this ibuprofen can be calculated. First is weight of one tablet of ibuprofen, it is 550 mg. Okay, and it contains ibuprofen actual, that is the API, that is 400 mg. Okay. Now if you take the two tablets, so its weight will be 1100 mg. Okay. So we require 500 mg quantity of this ibuprofen. So we have the equivalent weight calculation. So 400 mg is equal, it is present at 550 mg of ibuprofen tablet. So 800 mg of this actual ibuprofen, it will be present in two tablets, that is the weight, it is 1100 mg. Okay. So if you go for the cross multiplication, so 500 into 1100 divided by 800. Okay. So we get 687.5 mg. Okay. This is the actual weight of ibuprofen in that tablet. Okay. So if you convert into the gram, so it will be 0.687 gram. Okay, of ibuprofen. Okay. So this 0.687 gram of ibuprofen will contain 500 mg of actual ibuprofen. Okay. So that I have taken and I have crushed these tablets into the mortar pestle, and I have converted into the powder form. So this I have taken the weight of ibuprofen. So it is ibuprofen, it is 0.687 gram or 687 mg. Okay. So it contains 500 mg of ibuprofen or 0.5 gram of ibuprofen. Okay. So let us do the next step of this procedure of assay of ibuprofen now. Now into the assay of ibuprofen, into the procedure, first of all you have to weigh accurately 0.5 gram of this ibuprofen that we have taken the here, or we have weighed already. Okay. And you have to dissolve this ibuprofen 500 mg, okay, into 100 ml of ethyl alcohol. Okay. And then you have to add some few drops of the phenolphthalein indicator, and after that you have to titrate with this solution with 0.1 normal NaOH solution. Okay. So for that we have also prepared here 0.1 normal NaOH solution. We will add into the beaker, we will add into the butyrate this 0.1 normal NaOH. Okay. Also we have some apparatus, that is measuring cylinder, okay, conical flask stirrer, okay. Also we have the butyrate stand, so it is required for the titrations, okay. Also we have the lab solvent or the ethanol, okay. So all these chemicals we will use for the assay of the ibuprofen. So let us do this step now. So first of all, I will transfer this ibuprofen in conical flask, then I will add 100 ml of ethyl alcohol and few drops of phenolphthalein, then I will titrate with 0.1 normal NaOH solution, okay. So let us do this practical. To the next step, I have added 0.5 gram of this weigh accurately, that is this ibuprofen powder, and I have transferred into this conical flask. Then I have also added 100 ml of ethyl alcohol to this flask. After that, I have also added phenolphthalein indicator, that is 3 to 4 drops into this mixture, okay. Now the ibuprofen will not dissolve completely because it contains some polymers or some other ingredients, okay, or excipients, so that it will not completely dissolve, okay, but it is somewhat solubilized some solids, okay. So after mixing well, some solids will be dissolved, okay. So after dissolutions of this ibuprofen in this ethanol and additions of phenolphthalein indicator, then let us titrate with 0.1 normal 0.1 normal NaOH solution, okay. Now into the butyrate I have filled 0.1 normal NaOH solution, okay, up to the 0 mark, okay, up to the 0 mark. Now let us do the titration with 0.1 normal NaOH solutions, so of this ibuprofen mixture. Let us do this titration with 0.1 normal NaOH solution, okay, until you get the faint pink color, okay. So that will be our first reading, okay. Slowly you have to add the drops of this particular NaOH solution, so we get the end point, that is the pink color, okay. Now this ibuprofen, it is aryl acetic acid and it is a weak acid in nature, so it reacts with NaOH, okay, in the presence of phenolphthalein, so we get the end point, okay, that is the faint pink color. So it is the acid base titration, you can see. So we are doing this titration with NaOH. Okay, so let us do the remaining titration until you get the faint pink color. Now you can see there is an end point at that is the reading we have given by this end point, that is 22.4 ml, okay. So this is the end point of the titration between ibuprofen as well as the NaOH solution. So the end point, it is 22.4, okay, ml. So this is first reading. Let us do the next second and third reading, okay. So let us perform the titration for the second reading as well as the third reading, okay. Let us do this next part of the titrations of assay of ibuprofen, okay. Okay, I have taken all three readings, okay, and we have all three reading calculations, or we have the observation in that first reading, it is that is we have the initial reading, final reading as well as the mean, okay. Initial reading, it is 00 ml, and final reading, it is first reading, it is 22.4 ml. The second reading, it is found to be 23.6 ml, and the third reading, it is found to be 25.2 ml, okay, and the mean I have calculated, that is 23.73 ml, okay. So I will put up this 23.73 ml of this mean into the formula for the calculations of assay of ibuprofen, okay. Now after that, let us do the next step for the titrations of the blank, okay, for the blank titration for the blank. In that we are omitting the sample, or without sample we will go for the titration, and then we will titrate the particular that is the alcohol as well as the NaOH, okay, so that we get the blank reading or the blank titration. So for the blank titration we will omitting the sample, or we will go for the titration without sample of ibuprofen. So first of all we will take 100 ml of ethyl alcohol, and we will add 3 to 4 drops of phenolphthalein, and then we will titrate with 0.1 normal NaOH. Okay, so that will be the blank reading or blank titration. So let us do this next step. Now let us do the titration for blank, or let us do the titration for the blank reading. Okay, so I have taken into the conical flask only 100 ml of ethyl alcohol and few drops of the phenolphthalein indicator. Okay, and there is no use of ibuprofen sample, so it is, that's why it is blank. Okay, also I have taken 0.1 normal NaOH solution into this butyrate up to the 0 mark. Then we will titrate this 0.1 normal NaOH solution with this ethyl alcohol and phenolphthalein indicator. So let us start this titration now. Okay, so let us do the titration. Drop by drop you have to add this NaOH solution, and then you have to shake this flask. Okay, so you have to do this blank titration also. Okay, until you get the faint pink color. Okay, uh, now after taking the sample reading, and we get the mean, that is the ibuprofen. Okay, so ACO of ibuprofen. If we also perform only the sample titration, that is the ibuprofen, if we don't want to taking the blank sample. Okay, so also we if we don't want to take the blank titration. Okay, so we will also go for the reading of the this assay of ibuprofen. Okay, so ibuprofen assay, in that we can also take the sample reading, or we can only consider the sample reading. Okay, so blank titration, it is only for the to minimize the errors, okay, into the readings. Okay, so we can also go for the assay readings, that is we have the 23.73 ml. Okay, if you don't have to perform this blank titration, so you also go for this assay ibuprofen, okay, readings, that is 23.73 ml of this our mean of this assay of ibuprofen. Okay, so you can also take this reading into the calculations. Okay, now after that we have performed our experiments. Okay, that is ACO of ibuprofen, and we have the mean, that is 23.73 ml. Okay, so this will be we take into the calculation. Okay, and we will calculate the particular percent purity of ibuprofen. Okay, so let us do the next part, that is the calculations of the ACO of ibuprofen. Okay, so to find out the percent purity of the ibuprofen present into the sample. Okay, also we will calculate the normality of this NaOH, that is the standardizations of NaOH, and we will find out the normality. Then we will calculate the calculations for the assay of ibuprofen for the percentage purity. Okay, so let us do this next part. Now let us see. Okay, now after the performing the experiment, okay, after the performing the experiment, okay, so we have performed the experiments, in that we have performed up to this the standardizations of this NaOH. Okay, after that we get the three readings, after that we calculate the mean. After that we also perform the ACO of ibuprofen, in that we take the three readings, also we take the mean of the ACO of ibuprofen. Okay, now this mean we have to put up into the formula. Okay, and for the calculations, so first of all let us see about the calculation. Okay, let us see about the calculation. So first it is standardizations of NaOH. First part it is standardization of NaOH. Okay, now for the calculation of standardization of NaOH, we have the formula, that is N1V1 is equal to N2V2. Formula it is N1V1 is equal to N2V2. Okay, so where N1 is equal to normality of oxalic acid. Okay, normality of oxalic acid. N1 it is the normality of the oxalic acid and it is given that is 0.1 normal. After that V1 it is stand for the volume of oxalic acid. Okay, that is we have taken into the procedure that is 10 ml of 0.1 normal oxalic acid, so that will be V1. Okay, now after that N2 it is the normality of the NaOH solution to be find out. N2 it is the normality of the NaOH solution to be find out. Now we have to find out the normality of the NaOH, so it is the N2. Okay, after that there is a V2 it is the volume of NaOH solution. Volume of NaOH solution means it is required for the neutralization, means we are taking from the burette and that will be our reading which is required for the neutralization. So that will be our readings or mean, that is the V2. Okay, so this is about the particular formula, that is N1 V1 is equal to N2 V2. Okay, now if you calculate this particular equation, okay, if you solve this equation, so N2 will comes out and N2 is equal to N1 into V2 and this particular it is V1. Okay, N2 into V1. Okay, and this V2 will be okay divided by at the down. Okay, or we can see it will divide this means N1 into V1 divided by V2. Okay, so N2 is equal to N1 into V1 and divided by V2. This is the formula for the calculations of this normality of the NaOH. Okay, now after the formula that is N2 is equal to N1 into V1 upon V2, so we have here we have put up the our mean into this formula. Okay, so first of all that is N1 it is the normality of the oxalic acid, it is 0.1. Okay, into 10 it is the volume of oxalic acid we have taken into the process, that is the 10 ml, and here V2 it is the volume of NaOH which is required for the neutralization. That is our mean of standardization of NaOH, it is found to be 9.86. Okay, so if you solve this particular calculations, okay, or this equation, so we get N2 is equal to 0.1 normal. Okay, so our normality of sodium hydroxide solution it is found to be 0.1 normal. Okay, N2 is equal to 0.1 normal. Okay, now this is about the calculation for the standardization of the NaOH solution. Now after that let us see the second part of the calculation, that is the assay of ibuprofen, or we will calculate the particular percentage purity of ibuprofen. Okay, by taking this N2 value into the formula of calculations of the percentage purity of ibuprofen. Okay. Okay, now let us do the second part of calculation, that is the determination of ibuprofen or the percentage purity of ibuprofen. To determine the percentage purity of ibuprofen, this is the second part of the calculation. So percentage purity, we have the formula, that is 0.02063, okay, into V into normality, that is N2, which is taken from the calculation, divided by normality N1 which is given, okay, into W, okay, and into 100. So we get the percentage purity. So where normality, that is the N2, it is given from the calculation and it is obtained from step number 1, means standardization of NaOH. We have calculated the N2 value, so it is found to be 0.1 normal. So that will be the normality N2 calculation, means this part. Okay, after that 0.02063 is equivalent factor, or it is the factor, that is the 0.0263. After that next it is normality N1 and it is given, that is 0.1 normal oxalic acid. Normality of the oxalic acid it is given, that is N1 it is 0.1 normal oxalic acid. After that W it is the weight of sample of ibuprofen. We have taken that is 0.5 gram. Okay. So let us calculate the percentage purity by using this formula. Okay. Also we have taken the we have performed the assay of ibuprofen. So in that we take the three readings of the titration, and after that we make or we calculate the mean or average of these three readings. So it is found to be 23.73 ml. It is found to be mean 23.73 ml, and we will put up this mean of this assay of ibuprofen into the formula. Okay, so let us do this calculation by using the formula. So let us do this here formula. So here 0.02063 as it is. Okay, we have taken or put up into the formula. Now V value, it is the mean of our assay standardization. So assay of titration of NaOH. It is ibuprofen. It is found to be 23.73. This is the mean of ibuprofen acid standard titration. Okay, 23.73 ml. And after that, next it is normality N2, and it is calculation. Okay, from the part first we calculate that the normality. Okay, and it is found to be 0.1 normal. Okay, and divided by 0.1 normal. 0.1 normal, it is the normality N1, it is given, and it is into the procedure, it is 0.1 normality of the oxalic acid into 0.5 gram. Now 0.5 gram, it is the actual weight taken of the ibuprofen, it is 0.5 gram. Okay, so if you solve this equation, so we get 0.048955 divided by 0.05 into 100. Okay, so if you solve this second step, so we get the percentage purity, that is 97.91. 97.91 percentage purity it is found of this ibuprofen tablet. Okay, so this is our final calculation, that is the percentage purity of ibuprofen, it is found to be 97.91. Okay, so this is about the calculation, and into the result you have to write down the percentage purity of ibuprofen was found to be 97.91%. Okay, so this is about the calculation, this is about the result, and this is about the experiment number 7 to perform the assay of ibuprofen. So this is the completion of assay of ibuprofen. Okay.